The zombie crisis suddenly struck. Mark took action following an online tutorial, comprehensively strengthening the protection of his yard, leaving no blind spots from inside to out. He specially installed a surveillance system, focusing on the main gate area. That night a squad of soldiers patrolled here, knocking on doors house by house to notify, gathering all residents to proceed to the designated area for quarantine. Mark lay motionless on the floor, letting the soldiers continue knocking, until they got tired and moved to the next house. In the blink of an eye 2 weeks passed. Mark struggled to survive on solar power. However, his food had run out. He had no other choice but to venture out to find supplies. As an experienced scuba diving enthusiast, his equipment now came in handy. Again, he put on a diving suit to strengthen his limbs, granting him the ability to protect himself, even if encountering the infected. But after searching several neighboring houses, Mark still found nothing, until he entered an open house. He met an old woman, unable to walk with her legs. Her daughter had long since married far away. No one took care of her. When we moved last time, Mark felt sorry for the old lady who came out, but he didn't have extra food to share with her. The old lady just smiled, said she knew this place as well as her own hand. Under her guidance, Mark gained a lot, and even found a motorcycle. This allowed him to obtain supplies from a distance. They supported each other. Life gradually got back on track. Mark felt it was great to have someone accompany him. He hoped this would continue until the virus completely disappeared. But one night, the old lady asked Mark to turn on the radio. An intermittent female voice came on, saying the government was delineate the quarantine zone. The situation is completely out of control. If there are surviving residents, they can head to Rosa River Port to gather. Everyone will be relocated. Destination Galapagos Islands. Mark was excited upon hearing the news. Isn't that where his sister sought refuge? He decided to bring the elderly woman. They agreed to meet the next day. She resolutely declined. The reason was her physical inconvenience. Mark sincerely expressed that he would never give up on any of his companions. Early the next morning, while Mark was packing his belongings, he intended to inform the old lady, but the walkie-talkie showed no response. A sense of foreboding welled up in Mark's heart. He hurriedly made his way to the old lady's residence. There is a note lying on the table with the words, "May you live well and never give up." The truth is, the old lady decided to leave alone, not wanting to add pressure to Mark. Mark's heart is filled with sorrow. He rode his motorcycle straight to the harbor. Before leaving, he made a special trip to the nearest quarantine zone. Even though the roadblocks still exist, the tent set up for living has long been tattered, confirming the information on the radio was not false. Heading to the Galapagos Islands was a wise decision. As Mark passed a mountain road, a large number of infected suddenly emerged. From both sides, he slammed on the accelerator, barely escaping the encirclement. Before he could react, he had fled to a temporary shelter. However, a large number of infected. Once again, he rushed out of the tent. It completely threw him off balance. Mark stumbled away from the camp. Luckily, the port was nearby. Holding his cat tightly, Mark ran for his life. Finally, he escaped through the gate, just before the infected caught up, barely dodging the zombie chase. But he was not at ease in his heart. The port was jam-packed with ships. Not a single survivor was in sight. He was completely clueless whether the guy on the radio had left or not, or if he had also caught the virus. Mark didn't have time to think it through. He grabbed a speedboat and set off, straight for the Galapagos Islands.